on blast.
I saw this from Michael Grange before the game. He said, quote, Kawhi Leonard is out due to load management. He's played 44 out of a possible 61 games this season and has played in one game in his last 12 days, not counting the All-Star game, and 3 in the past 18 days. So I get it. I see why people are going to be upset. But all I'm saying is, to me, the biggest factor, and this is going to, listen to the words I'm saying before you jump on me here. We're talking about a Raptors organization, a Raptors fan base, and a Raptors media that is not used to the playoffs being more important than the regular season. And in fact, the regular season not even mattering that much. Think about that. This is the first time where, the Raptors have the same record that they had last year at this point? And what did we learn last year? The regular season didn't matter. It was the best regular season in franchise history. It didn't matter because the only thing that mattered was when you got to the playoffs, you saw LeBron, and it was sweep city. So this whole, everyone surrounding this organization, Masai Ujiri understands it. That's why he made the trade for Kawhi Leonard. That's why he made the trade for Marc Gasol. He realizes that the most important thing is playoff time, right? But we're dealing with a fan base. We're dealing with a media cycle that covers a team that is not used to the regular season not mattering as much as it normally does. So whatever the Raptors win-loss record doesn't matter. And we're not used to that. Whereas when you look throughout other great teams, other teams with championship aspirations, right? Last year, LeBron James played every single game for the Cavs, and it was such a big deal, right? Cool. Whatever. But if you go back to other times, you've seen Kevin Love get rest. You've seen Kyrie get rest. You've seen LeBron get rest. Why? Because the regular season doesn't matter. Because they're focused on the playoffs. If you go back to LeBron on the Heat, they had Dwayne Wade on a full program, a rest program, for basically the entire season. Why? Because the only thing that mattered was the playoffs. So how could they get him healthy to the playoffs? Do you think there were there people complaining about how many games those guys were playing? Maybe. But those people are uneducated and don't understand that the playoffs matter the most. Even go back to Kawhi's former team with Pop. Pop made a living. They had to change NBA rules to force guys to play or to threaten of fining them from sitting out in the big boy games because Coach Popovich started this thing where he was resting his guys, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan in big games. He was resting them because why? The regular season doesn't matter. And look at what the Spurs did. I'm telling you, the regular season doesn't matter. And we've seen Pop have a winning record for 20 plus years? Because he knows how to work his lineups and rest his players throughout the season. As the Toronto Raptors, we're not used to that. Not used to having championship aspirations or NBA Finals aspirations. So it's a foreign thought to think, you know what, if Kawhi Leonard plays 70 out of the 82 games in a season, or whatever, 65 out of the 82 games in the season, people are going to be like, oh no, why is he not playing? Why is he not playing? But y'all are not going to care if he balls out in the finals. In fact, y'all didn't care when Kawhi was stealing the ball off DeMar at half court with the game on the line and dunking for the winning bucket. But now we're going to care because he lost to Orlando? Come on, guys. Let's be serious for a second. Let's really be serious and realize that this is about way bigger things than what's happening right now on February 24th. There's a reason why they're pacing him. Again, he hasn't played in a lot of games over the past year. Do you want him to play in every game down the stretch? Cool. Of course you do. But I bet you there's a reason why they're resting him. They're not just resting him just to be like, you know what? We're going to be way overcautious and sit him out. I don't think that's the case. And even if it was the case, again, it's February 24th against Orlando. We need Kawhi Leonard to be at peak Kawhi Leonard come playoff time. Because most importantly, a deep playoff run is your best sales pitch to Kawhi Leonard. And that's what this season is about. It's not about game whatever against Orlando or the game before the All-Star break. And the other thing too, this whole, he played in the All-Star game. Why can he play in the All-Star game? You guys can't have it both ways. Because I'm pretty sure that the exact same people talking about Kawhi Leonard, why can he play in the All-Star game? Were the same people complaining about the players not trying during the All-Star game. Complaining about why the All-Star game is so boring because players don't try. Hey guys, maybe that's why Kawhi played in the All-Star game. Because you're not trying. You're not going full speed. The All-Star game isn't a real game. So you can't really be mad that he played in the All-Star game, but he missed the game against Orlando and missed the game against Washington. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. We're all smart enough to realize that the All-Star game, and you have shoe contracts, and there's other reasons why these star players are at the All-Star game and why it's important for them to play. Like, we're smart enough to realize that, right? Like, we realize that Kawhi Leonard launched a shoe at the All-Star game. We know that, right? So you can argue about what's more important, releasing your shoe or being healthy, or you could be smart enough to know that he probably played, 15 minutes in that All-Star game, and all he did was jack up threes. I don't even know if he broke a sweat. So let's relax. And hey, if Kawhi doesn't show up Tuesday against Boston, let him have it. I'm there with you. I'll be right there with you guys, crushing Kawhi Leonard if he doesn't have a good game against Boston on Tuesday night. If Kawhi Leonard doesn't ball out in the playoffs, I'll be right there with you guys. But everything that I've seen so far, okay, and we'll go back to the Spurs game, because the Spurs game was a great example of that, because he did not have his shot in that game. He missed a lot of shots, did not look good at all. And then you looked up at the end of the game, and he was a high scorer, and with the game on the line, Raptors down 1, he comes up with the steal and the game-winning dunk. That's why you got Kawhi Leonard. Not for these games against Orlando, not for these games against the Wizards, not for games against the Knicks. That's all I'm saying, guys.